Good evening, everyone, and welcome in to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for tonight's running of the NSRA Sunday Select Series race number 7 here from the high banks of Talladega. You're watching the Ghost Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise, and I'm filling in for Austin tonight, giving you some action here from Talladega. Should be a good one. The Craftsman Truck Series is back on track. We got about a 20 truck field ready to go at it here for race number 7. We're going to take you through all of it here in just a moment. We'll get you your starting grid first, as the guys are on the grid. A little bit of a late start tonight, but hey, you know, last minute plans, you know how it can be. I'm glad to be here. I hope you're glad to be here, and I cannot wait to get this one going. So we get your ticker rolling across the top of the screen. You can start to see your starting grid roll across that screen. And actually, you know what? We'll go a little bit more traditional tonight. We'll get you your starting grid here in just a moment, as we try to take a look here at the pole sitter, Mr. Dean Wilkinson. Normally of area 51 tonight. He's on track in NSRA. And here we go. Sunday Select Series starting lineup from Talladega. Dean Wilkinson, 55.815 the pole time tonight. To his outside, it's Tom Dixon. Another guy maybe not running every week of NSRA, but hey, he's here tonight. He's ready to compete. He starts from second. Vicente Guerrero of Limitless. He'll roll from third with Dana Osborne to his outside in the 8. Michael Triscaro, the Limitless teammate of Vicente Guerrero, he'll roll from 5th tonight with Cody Nagels, their teammate, to his outside in 6. John Garrow will roll from 7th in the 88 with Les Levy to his outside in the 62. DJ Thomas rolls from 9th, and to the outside of the rookie, we got Sean Stevens in the 27, rounding out your top 10. Bubba Winningham rolls from 11th tonight with Robert Jordan to his outside in 12th in the 74. David Overstreet, the big boss man, rolls from 13th tonight in the 68 with Len McNeese to his outside starting in 14th. Starting in 15th tonight, Robert Morrison in the 43 with Larry Dickerson to his outside, rounding out row 8. Row 9 going to be Dusty Burkhart, and, well, it will not be myself. It'll actually be Dean Viney in the 71. Mark Sergio rolls from what's going to be 19th position tonight, and rolling from 20th, and shotgun on the field, going to be the 85 of Adam Kilday. A quick start, but hey, you know the drill around here. These guys are going to get off to a quick start in this race here in just a moment. I cannot wait. As we got 80 laps on tap, the NSRA Sunday Select Series race number 7 from Talladega Superspeedway. Normally you'd see me on the racetrack tonight, but tonight I picked up the microphone. A little bit of a last-minute change. Austin not able to be here tonight, so I said, you know what? Hey, I'll call some NSRA racing. It's been some great times on the racetrack for me this season, and glad to be back up here in the booth with you tonight, though. Glad everybody has come out. Glad everybody decided to spend their Sunday evening with me. It's going to be 80 laps of high-intensity racing. If you've not experienced the NSRA yet, I'll tell you what, you're in for a treat tonight. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a lot of fun. 20 guys in the field, 20 of the hardest-working guys on super speedways. A lot of these guys run anywhere from 1 to about 5 nights a week, and most of them run more than one. You'll see a lot of these guys run 2, 3, 4 nights a week of super speedway racing, and they know how to get the job done. Several of them you've seen before on Tuesdays, on Thursdays. You'll know some of the names if it's your first time. But I'm ready to bring you all the action here tonight. No stages tonight. It's going to be 80 laps of straight-up old-time racing. And we're ready to get it rocking and rolling. Dean Wilkinson, Tom Dixon on the front row. As we come out of turn number 4, get ready to put them under the green flag for the first time. Really quickly, Kevin Nagels in chat. What's up, Kevin? Hope you're doing well, my friend. My name is Dawson. I'm in the booth with you tonight, bringing you all the action. Here we go. Pace car is down. Dean Wilkinson has the field in hand. We are ready to get this one underway from Talladega. Into the restart zone they come. Race 7, the halfway point of the regular season for NSRA Sunday Select. We are underway from Talladega. Green flag is in the air. And away we go down into turn number 1. Dean Wilkinson in the early lead. Tom Dixon trying to get that top line wound up and moving. The help of Dana Osborne. Cody Nagels is up there. A multiple-time winner already in this season. Vicente Guerrero wastes no time. He goes immediately to the outside of the racetrack. He's got help from Tom Dixon. Now third line already moving a little further back. That's the 62 of Les, leaving the 27 of Sean Stevens. As Vicente Guerrero is your leader at Talladega, headed off into turn 3 for the first time. The driver from Limitless. In that 14, bottom line surging a little bit. Michael Triscaro pushing all over the back of Dean Wilkinson. Third line gaining some steam. I believe that's Bubba Winningham that's joined them in the outside line. It's not Bubba. Bubba's on the bottom in that white ChevyLand truck. He actually has the sponsor of tonight's race, the ChevyLand 212. That's going to be the big man, David Overstreet. A little bit new look on that 68 machine. As he rolls to the outside with Levy and Sean Stevens, and now Len McNeese in tow. I believe those four are running together as well tonight. But up front, Vicente Guerrero, Dean Wilkinson. They see the third line starting to come a little bit, not a lot. It's up to about the third row. As lap 2 is on the board here at Talladega. Wilkinson back to the lead with the help of a big push from Michael Triscaro. In the 34, Wilkinson going to manage the lanes, go up in front of Vicente Guerrero, try to cool the temps off on that bottom lane. It gets hot very, very quickly. And now we are 3 wide most of the way back through this lead pack. Levy, Stevens, and Overstreet making serious headway. Bottom line kind of fading a little bit. Triscaro, Guerra, and DJ Thomas now. And this is what's going to affect that. On the right side of your screen, you see the weather there, 122-degree track temperature. That bottom line going to get awfully hot in a hurry. But now we are 3 wide for the lead for the first time tonight, lap number 3. As that top line made enough headway with the 4 trucks in it. Now Dane Osborne, Wilkinson gets turned off the nose of Triscaro. Can he hold on to the truck? Yes, he can. An incredible save by Dean Wilkinson, but that's going to lose him some serious time very early on in the race. A bad push from the 34 machine. And Les Levy's going to take advantage. He goes to the race lead, going to go all the way to the bottom. Guerrero slams the door for him to get back up into the middle. So now Guerrero and Dixon in the middle. Stevens, Overstreet, Osborne up top. Cody Nagels did not like what he saw. He backed out of that in a hurry. DJ Thomas doing the same. Oh, now DJ Thomas trying to make some headway on the bottom, but it's all Les Levy up front. Now Sean Stevens leading the outside. As lap 4 is on the board. Down the back straightaway they come. Les Levy off into turn number 3. Guerrero with the help of Dixon, and now Bubba Winningham. There's another truck back there. I can't quite tell which truck it is. That would be the 11 of Mark Sergio, making his presence felt near the front of the field for the first time tonight. Robert Morrison as well. He's joined the third line behind Dana Osborne as Stevens tries to get it rolling once again, but really no headway to be made. Temperature's starting to get hot up top on the bottom. It's Levy, Triscaro, Guerra, McNeese, Thomas. Middle, Guerrero, Dixon, Winningham, Sergio, and now Osborne bails from the top line. Back to 2x2. Middle's going to have a ton of energy right here. Vicente Guerrero sticking his nose back out in front of the field. What a strong start it is tonight for the driver of the 14. Drops across the nose of Les Levy off into turn number 3. Guerrero clears for the race lead. Some guys a little further back do not like what they see. Adam Kilday, Robert Morrison among them. Just trying to bail out. Dusty Burkhart back there as well. The gray and orange Tennessee Vols scheme. Boy, I love to see that. Les Levy, no time wasted to get back to the top. This is a dogfight up front between the 62 and the 14's class. Sean Stevens right back into this battle for the lead. The middle loses some energy, though, and Guerrero gets a nice push from his Limitless teammate on the bottom in the form of Triscaro. Let's see if Guerrero goes up to manage the middle. Nope, he will not have a chance to. Levy back to his quarter panel, and 3 wide once again for the race lead. Bottom line's got a lot more trucks, a lot more energy working towards it. Michael Triscaro, one of the best pushers in the business. Tom Dixon, though, certainly no slouch in the middle line. He is very, very solid as well. Just over 6 laps into this race. Levy decides to go one higher. Dixon bails and heads down to help Vicente Guerrero. That leaves Levy up top with Bubba Winningham, and is going to allow Michael Triscaro, the owner of PGR, to lead here at the line, I do believe, and he will get the lap lead. 34 out front for the first time tonight. The marathon colors very familiar. for the driver of the 34. Guerrero storming back to the outside of the racetrack. Boy, what a strong start it is for Vicente Guerrero, looking very poised here early in this race. Sergio jumps out in front of Les Levy. They've got David Overstreet in tow. Oh, trouble! Levy is pinned to the wall by Bubba Winningham. Les Levy going backwards in a hurry. He's up against the fence. Now he brings it off the wall, and he's going to lose a lot of time here. He's going to lose the draft. He may have knocked the right front out of that truck when he bounced off the outside wall. He brings it to the apron. Yep, he's coming to pit road. He has knocked the suspension out of alignment on the 62 machine. Back up front, Triscaro and Guerrero, the teammates. On the front row, Guerra and Dixon trying to get their lines out front. Temperatures starting to increase underneath the hoods of those trucks. Back to 2 wide for now, 6 rows deep here at the front of the field. Now Guerrero pulls way out to the outside wall, got his laps led, now decides he's going to go take a little break. They're racing up front a little bit crazy. Triscaro now going to be able to handle the race lead off into turn number 3. Tom Dixon, for the first time today, leads the outside line. Dana Osborne, Sean Stevens, Mark Sergio, Bubba Winningham in tow. Guerrero going back all the way to the back of this long 2-line draft. Lockstep formation, much like we saw in the NASCAR Cup Series race today. Dixon pokes the nose out front. He may get the lap led here at the line, and he will. The driver of the 411 out front for the first time tonight on lap number 9. Still rolling right along here at Talladega Superspeedway. 9 laps in the books. As we're about halfway through lap 10 as the field 19 trucks deep, actually about 18 now with Les Levy having to make that unscheduled pit stop. 18 trucks in this long draft as they fly off into turn number 3. Robert Morrison once again going to the back, getting too close to the front. Just kind of wants to manage his truck. 2 fast repairs in the bank for these boys tonight. So some more room for error than we see on Tuesdays and Thursdays. 80-lap race, 2 fast repairs, very manageable. Pretty easy to want to run up front, but a lot of guys tonight just kind of deciding to bide their time. The most surprising of which is Cody Nagels, a multiple-time winner this season, like I talked about at the top of the show. Very surprising to see him just outside the top 10 as they run right now in 13th. Onto the Alabama Gang super stretch here on lap number 10. Now Triscaro takes his truck to the apron. Headed to the back is Michael Triscaro, the driver for Limitless. A very interesting set of decisions here as they're going to try to find him a spot in line. They do right in front of Robert Jordan. In the 74, it's going to split the field up. I'll tell you what I think is going on. It might be almost time for pit stops. Not quite. We're certainly starting to approach that number, though, as you see everybody starting to get into that single file train on the inside of the racetrack. Dean Viney, David Overstreet, Adam Kilday still riding second line, trying to make up some spots as we get closer to that first pit stop. Truck up ahead of the field is going to be Les Levy in the 62 as they get ready to put him a lap down. Osborne off the banking of turn number 2. Dana Osborne leading the race. Sean Stevens, Mark Sergio, Bubba Winningham, Tom Dixon in tow, but Dean Viney, David Overstreet, Adam Kilday still trying to make it happen. Overstreet has to lean out of line. Not sure what happened to the 68. It's going to tear up the momentum of that outside line. I think they may start to think about getting in line. Kilday does in front of DJ Thomas. Overstreet still out against the wall. A little bit of a break. Oh, almost trouble in the tri-oval between what looked to me. Oh, that's going to split the field up big time. Something happened back around the 8 of Dana, or it's not the 8 of Dana Osborne, excuse me. Back around, I believe, the Len McNeese machine. Something happened. Not sure what happened there, but it's broken the field up in a big way. Everybody's trying to just get in line. Dean Viney does right in front of Len McNeese. Overstreet still hung out up above that first dash line up in that second lane. Dana Osborne still controlling the field. It's a very spread out group now as we are approaching our first pit stop of the night. About a 15 lap or so fuel run, at least from what our experience was. You can go about 15, 16 laps if I remember correctly. But you can tell these guys just kind of want to bide their time, get to that first pit stop, and then we'll settle it out from there. And we'll get you a rundown here of the field going into that pit stop. Like I said, Dana Osborne, Sean Stevens, Mark Sergio, Bubba Winningham, Tom Dixon, your top 5. Then you have John Guerra back here in front of Dean Viney. He's settled into 6th. A nice start to the run for him tonight. There's Dean Viney in the 71. Len McNeese is 8th. Adam Kilday is 9th. And then a row of teammates here from 10th to 12th. That's DJ Thomas, Cody Nagels, Michael Triscaro. Robert Morrison is 13th as they run on the racetrack right now. David Overstreet scored 14th. He's about to lose that position to Robert Jordan. Well, maybe not. Outside starting to make some hay. Les Levy, David Overstreet trying to get up ahead of some of these guys and get down for pit stops. Robert Jordan runs 15th. Larry Dickerson 16th. Vicente Guerrero 17th. Dusty Burkhart, the last truck in this pack, is 18th. And Dean Wilkinson is not far from getting lapped. And Les Levy, the only truck, a lap down in 20th. There you saw Wilkinson flash on the left side of your screen. The field getting ready to put him a lap down after the unfortunate set of circumstances early on in the going for the 55. He's going to drop all the way to the apron, lift out of the throttle, let the field go on by. And he will go a lap down. And this is where Les Levy's thinking, okay, I'm glad I caught the end of the pack, because now I'm going to be the first truck a lap down. He should pass Wilkinson right here. In fact, Dean Wilkinson may go ahead and make a pit stop here, and he will in the 55 this time by, so he may go another lap down unless the pit cycle begins to happen now. Osborne puts lap 15 on the board. 66 laps to go here from Talladega. Cloud cover big time in turns 1 and 2. Going to affect the sight a little bit of these drivers. Makes it a little bit darker. Maybe they've gotten used to the sun over there in turns 1 and 2. Off onto the backstretch here on lap number 15, and now's when you can expect some guys to start thinking about pitting. No stages tonight, so a very flexible pit strategy number here. You're not thinking about stage points. You're thinking about how many stops is it going to take me to get to the end of the race. Field's starting to back out a little bit, spread out once again. That may be a sign pit stops are coming. A few guys jumping to the outside of the racetrack. Overstreet, Levy, Nagels, Triscaro, and here we go. Pit stops: Osborne, Stevens, Sergio, Winningham, Dixon, Guerra, Viney, Adam Kilday, Len McNeese, Dusty Burkhart on pit road, and that leaves the race lead to the driver of the 68. A brand new Busch Light look on that truck tonight, David Overstreet. The big boss man of NSRA is P1 here in turn number 1 for the first time tonight. In tow, his teammate Les Levy, and then a string of Limitless drivers as well as Larry Dickerson in behind them. Overstreet drops all the way to the apron. Not sure what's going on the 68, but he drops all the way out. Going to try to get back up. Something's gone amiss on the 68. Some kind of issue for David Overstreet. Not sure what's going on there, but Overstreet is slowing down rapidly here in turns 3 and 4. He's on the flat. Not sure if he's out of fuel, but he is rolling awfully slow. Meanwhile, up here we go. Limitless, along with Robert Morrison, Larry Dickerson, are on pit road, and they bring Les Levy along with them in tow. Overstreet going to make it to the pit entry line. Not sure what the problem is on the 68. We still don't know. Sean Stevens, Dana Osborne cycled out in front, but then behind them, the group is awfully split. And that's going to unfortunately mean for them that their speed's not going to be what they want it to be on pit exit here. Limitless is rolling off pit road along with Les Levy. An extended stop for Vicente Guerrero, and they are all kinds of split up. DJ Thomas second off pit road. Larry Dickerson, Vicente Guerrero, Robert Jordan. There goes Sean Stevens and Dana Osborne. Wow. So, not sure what happened on the Limitless pit stop, but it's an extended stop for those guys. They are going to blend here. Well, a few of them are going to blend. This could make things really interesting. Nagels, Thomas will get draft here. The others, though, I don't believe will. Jordan, Triscaro, and Guerrero, they're caught too far back. In fact, Nagels and Thomas may not get it either. So what an incredible first pit stop by this first group that came in. Sean Stevens is going to lead the way for now, lap 17, and this line will single out And right around that yellow line, the fastest way around this 2.66 mile oval. That second group is fading in a hurry. 5 seconds back is the Larry Dickerson group. So unknown what happened on their pit stop. Some kind of unknown issue. We'll see if we get a chance to talk to the drivers of those trucks. See what happened on that first pit stop. Should a mid-race caution come out. Into turn number 3. Sean Stevens continuing to lead the way. Dana Osborne behind him. John Guerra actually gained a few spots on this pit cycle. He's inside the top 3. Les Levy managed to tag onto this group. Lap 19 going to go on the board. 62 laps to go from Talladega. Expecting another pit stop around lap 30 or a little bit after. And now's how we're going to play the race because everybody's single file. Here is the Nagels group, led by Cody, with DJ Thomas, Robert Jordan, Vicente Guerrero, Michael Triscaro, and Larry Dickerson in tow. And they are not gaining any time. In fact, they're losing time. As up front, Sean Stevens, Dana Osborne, John Guerra, Tom Dixon, Mark Sergio, Len McNeese, Bubba Winningham, Adam Kilday, and Dusty Burkhart have made out like bandits on this pit stop. Stevens puts lap 20 on the board, and they put Robert Morrison 1 lap down. And Les Levy's going to have to hope Robert Morrison doesn't tag on the back of this group. There goes Levy. He's going to pass by the 43. As Stevens continuing to lead the way, a dominant effort from him early in the WOW Video Tours, number 27. Off into turn number 3. Lines are the same. Gap is the same. Back to Cody Nagels in 10th. Off turn 4 into the tri-oval here. Continuing to work lap 20. Coming to lap 21. A pretty torrid pace being set by this first group. They picked up another 4/10 that time by. It's over 8 seconds back to the Limitless group. Now herein lies the issue for this second group, as Les Levy and Robert Morrison have jumped to the outside. They are going to start to slow this group down a little bit by side drafting if they can get a little further up. Morrison trying to push on the back of the 62. They're going to need one other taker. They get one, Len McNeese. This is exactly what that second group wants to see, is these guys starting to go too wide. And here we go again. Mark Sergio jumps to the outside. Oh boy, so this group's starting to get a little bit separated, and the gap's starting to close just a little. Osborne committed to the back of the 27 for now. How long does he wait? Sergio going to dive back in line as the line fizzles out on the outside, but it slowed him enough to lose that 4/10 they just gained last time by. If you're just joining me, we're on lap 22, the NSRA Sunday Select Series ChevyLand 212 from Talladega Superspeedway. Sean Stevens leading the way after our first pit cycle. Another one coming up in about 10 laps. As his first pack continues to try to figure it out. While they continue to try to figure it out, that second pack, by the way, has gained another 3/10 on this lap to bring the gap down to about 7.4 seconds. You need about a second and a half to draft in the Craftsman trucks. So theoretically, they're about 6 seconds back of picking up this front pack. I don't think they'll gain it on this pit cycle, but a good pit stop, good execution, maybe an undercut could get them that time back in a hurry. They've picked up 2 more tenths just since I started that sentence. The gap is closing on 7 seconds. The Limitless group has figured it out. They are on the roll from 7 seconds back. David Overstreet getting ready to go a lap down. Les Levy trying to get some help a little further back. from Robert Morrison as they again try to mount a run to get to the front of this pack. Sean Stevens going to go into the tri-oval, put lap 24 on the board next time around. Overstreet goes one lap down. He's going to pick up his teammate Les Levy here in the outside line. They're going to try to lift and get him some draft, try to get him in this first group. As they do so, the gap now just slightly above 7 seconds. Cody Nichols has cut that gap to 7.05 seconds. They've cycled the order. Now, this is really interesting. I want you to take a look at this because it's so interesting to me. Look at this. So they have cycled the entire running order of this line besides the leader. And they've started to pick up time. It's incredible to me that these guys can work that efficiently. And we see it all the time in these races. We've seen it in NSRA. Multiple different guys just have a knack for being able to cycle out, get in a different spot in line, and get going. These are the best of the best in the super speedway business. All 20 of these guys, I'm telling you what, it is a very, very difficult field to win in. Dana Osborne dives out of line to the outside wall. That's going to kill their momentum here in this first group. They are 2 wide, 4 rows deep. As Morrison pushes Levy all the way to the front of the group and puts him back into the tail end of the lead lap for now. Now Overstreet dives out of line and hangs Robert Morrison kind of in the middle for a second. Robert Morrison actually going to the tail end of the lead lap as well as David Overstreet now. And that is slowing this group down a ton. The gap down to 6.8 seconds, now underneath 6.8 seconds. Sean Stevens is your race leader. I mean, now 3 guys going to get on the tail end of the lead lap, and now it's going to slow that pack down a considerable amount. And that's exactly what that second group wants to see, I'll tell you what. And I'll keep tabs on that gap for you. We're closing in another pit stop about 6 or 7 laps away from our second stop of the night. Into turn number 3, Overstreet getting pushed by Len McNeese, Adam Kilday in tow. They've got Bubba Winningham, Dana Osborne up in that outside line with them, and that's, like I said, it's slowing them down. Off turn number 4, headed for the tri-oval once again. And as we hit the tri-oval and flash by the start-finish line once again, put lap 27 on the board, the gap back to Cody Nagels is 5.9 seconds. So about 4.5 seconds or so back from catching the tail end draft of this lead group. In fact, they're less than that. If we really want to get into the nitty-gritty, they're only about 3.8 seconds back from doing that from the tail end car, Dusty Burkhart. And turn number 3, still 2 wide, 5 rows deep. Both lines struggling to get their guys to the front. Len McNeese actually pokes the nose ahead for a moment to the race lead, but has to dive back in line. Lap 28 goes on the board, approaching that second pit stop like I've been talking about. Lap 32, 33, something like that's going to be about what they're looking at. I can tell you that that group, led by Cody Nagels, is now within 4.5 seconds of the tail end of this lead draft. They have cut almost 3 seconds off the gap in pretty much 8 laps. There they are. For the first time, we can see them at the tail end of your screen on the Alabama Gang Super Stretch. They are closing in and doing it in a hurry. And after what appeared to be a slow pit stop, what a huge moment it would be if they can get right back into this race, catch the tail end of the draft, and pick that back up by the time they get to the second round of pit stops. Still 2 wide up front. It's actually Len McNeese out front. A blink there from Bubba Winningham, but he is back. Gap stalling out a little bit. It's about 4.6 seconds as they run now. It's starting to go down once again. They're about 3 seconds short of draft. You'll be able to see them again at the top of your screen. Slowly inching closer and closer to this lead group. I guarantee you Dusty Burkhart, Mark Sergio looking in the mirror trying to yell at the guys in front of him saying, hey, guys, we might want to single out. They are closing in. For now, we're going to stay content to run double file, though. Kilday out to the outside. Walt stalls the middle line for a second as McNeese tries to get back to David Overstreet. Under 4.5 seconds, closing in on 4. Sean Stevens drives back to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll get the lead. John Guerra will go to second. Morrison, you see him peeking out of line. He's looking for temps. Engine starting to get hot underneath the 43, and this is the opportunity that the Nagels group has been waiting on, is these guys to start to get hot. McNeese back to the outside of the racetrack. He'll get the race lead here once again in turns 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, David Overstreet leading the second line, but he is bouncing between the tail and the lead lap and a lap down for now. Tail and the lead lap. He's going to drop. Oh, he's not clear in front of McNeese. Almost a moment there as McNeese forced up by the outside wall. That group is coming in a hurry. 3 seconds behind this lead draft. Only about another 1.5 seconds to make up before they catch the tail end of the draft. Stevens back to the race lead. Levy, Morrison, lead lap trucks for now. But obviously a pit stop is coming up. For the first time now, you can see them on the right side of your screen. It just shows how much ground they've made up. They're about 1 second inside of getting the draft. They're under 1 second probably from catching the tail end draft of this lead group. And when they get there, I'm telling you what, they're going to be rolling. But it may not matter. Pit stops on lap 31. Morrison, Overstreet, Levy stay out as lap trucks. But here comes the rest of the pack. Sean Stevens, John Guerra, Tom Dixon. Everybody's on pit road, and that includes the Limitless group that will pit with the leaders. Wow, that's unreal. I cannot believe they got back to them, let alone were able to make up enough ground on pit entry to be even with them. Now they got to execute on the pit stop. Everybody comes to a stop in their box. Adam Kilday's the first to leave. Dusty Burkhart's away. Sean Stevens, John Guerra, they're all away. Les Levy. Guerrero's away. Nagels is away. Thomas is away. And Limitless is back in it. And so we are level once again. Stevens, Guerra, Burkhart, Kilday, Osborne, the top 5. Then Guerrero, Nagels, Dixon, Sergio, Thomas, the top 10. Len McNeese may have gotten a penalty right there. He brushed the track surface, I do believe. We'll have to keep an eye on the 84. It was awfully close. Larry Dickerson is 12th. Robert Jordan, 13th. Michael Triscaro, 14th. Bubba Winningham, 15th. Robert Morrison there in 16th with Dean Viney behind him. These guys are off the lead draft, as is David Overstreet, Les Levy, and Dean Wilkinson. Up front, a 5-truck breakaway. Then from there, Guerrero and Nagels waiting on some help from further back. They're in no man's land right now, and it's the same situation they were just in. Stevens, Guerra, Burkhart, Kilday, Osborne. Excellent execution on that second round of stops. As they are your top 5 in turns 1 and 2, almost halfway home. This race is flying by in a hurry here at Talladega Superspeedway. No cautions to be heard of yet. In 33 laps of racing, our second pit cycle is complete. Guerrero and Nagels have had to drop all the way back to pick up that second group, who has still not singled out. Now they have single filed out. They're still having to drop back, trying to pick up this group. They're not going to be too far behind the lead draft. Not too much ground to make up once they get lined up, especially with Cody Nagels as the pushing truck. We've seen him do it already this season. Be able to propel a group to the front of the field. Now here's the problem. Does Les Levy stay in line, or does he go around the 6? He's going to choose option 2. Nope, now he thinks better. Chooses option 1. Now he jumps to the outside. It's going to allow the teammate of Nagel's, DJ Thomas, to fill that gap if he can get a little bit of help. He doesn't have any from Lynn McNeese yet, though. And now Dixon drops back in line. It's going to leave Levy out by himself on the outside line. But it also stalls this line a little bit and allows that front group to pull away. David Overstreet actually is going to be able to bridge the gap, I do believe, between these two groups. This may be exactly what the doctor ordered for the second group of trucks. And that's that they are getting some draft off the back of the lap truck of David Overstreet. Lap 35 on the board for the leaders. They're up ahead there at the top of your screen. We are looking at the second group, led by Vicente Guerrero, which is 6th on back. It is the 6th through 15th place trucks, actually. Yeah, it's about 16th. Bubba Winningham picked up Les Levy. This group's going to pick up David Overstreet and try to drive their way back to the front. They should be within drafting range, and they are. So company on the way for the leaders, Sean Stevens, John Guerra, Dusty Burkhardt, Adam Kilday, and Dana Osborne. They've got company looming in the rear view mirror. And for the first time in this race since lap number 1, we're going to have a full pack once again. Once this group gets the remaining about 0.7 of a second or so back. As lap 36 go on the board, expect another pit stop about lap 40, probably 45, 46, 47, somewhere in that range is when we're going to get yet another pit stop. Probably 2 pit stops left in this race, maybe 3. The way it's shaking out. If you can, yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to go far enough. If you can get to 50, that wouldn't even be enough for 2 stops. So a 3-stop race still on our hands. It's going to be a very late final pit stop in this one if it pans out. Obviously, knowing both the announcers curse. Oh! And an interesting decision on lap 36. The set of teammates is pitting very early. And this is interesting. It's an interesting decision. They undercut the rest of the field. They won't have to take much gas on this pit stop either, which means their pit time is going to go way down, and they're obviously going to be able to get connected right off of pit road. Nagel's missed his pit box. You saw it in the 6. They're going to have to pick him up. Hopefully not a long stop. It isn't. He's going to be able to get right back with his teammates. No harm, no foul. Okay, so now the lead group has to react. Do they pit? Do they stay out? We're going to find out. Sean Stevens, John Guerra leading the field off turn number 4. Let's see. Do they match play the Limitless boys or do they stay on the racetrack? Option 2. So we've got our call here from the front group. They're going to run the tank out and do what they can to put as much time between themselves and that group of teammates as possible. Les Levy to the outside, 3 wide around Dana Osborne. He's got Bubba Winningham with him. It's going to stall that middle line out. Start to fade them backwards. Allows Sean Stevens the first look at clean air as the leader he's had in several laps. As this pack, their main goal is to put as much time between themselves and the Limitless teammates as possible so that when they pit here in about 9 laps or so when the tank runs out, they're not behind the 8 ball. Now, on the last pit stop here in, 30, 40 laps, if we get to that point, they'll be able to take way, way, way less fuel. But if they're already too far behind the Limitless group anyways, that last pit stop's not going to make any difference. At best, the less fuel on the last pit stop makes them able to at least blend with the Limitless trucks. If they can put enough time on them, they'll be able to be out in front of them. If not, worst case scenario, Limitless drives away and finishes 1 through 5 if this pans out the way they are anticipating. Long race to go. Lap 40 will go on the board almost halfway home. You're watching NSRA Sunday Select on the Ghost Racing Network. Adam Kilday puts his nose out front. He wants the race lead as Dana Osborne took it for a moment. Kilday going to have the momentum roll into the outside. The help of Mark Sergio on the 85 puts his truck in the race lead for the first time tonight. As we flash by the start-finish line once again. I want to thank those of you that are, again, spending your Sunday night with us. Good to have Alex Giffen A Sunday night driver in the chat. Stuck in the race traffic after the Talladega Cup race today. I'll tell you what, I know how that feels. I've been stuck in that traffic numerous times over the years. And it does not get any better the more years I go. But hey, we're bringing you along here at Talladega nonetheless. Getting you through that traffic and through the rest of your guys' Sunday night. Leaders off turn 4. Adam Kilday leading the field with Mark Sergio in tow. Tom Dixon, Bubba Winningham up along the second line. Now Overstreet dives out of line going with him. Looking at the gap as halfway is on the board at Talladega. Still no yellows to be spoken of. Almost had our first one right there as Winningham got a little bit of that tunnel vision that, ironically enough, I got on Thursday night. If you tuned in to the PGR Big Money team event on Thursday night, I did the exact same thing, except I actually ended up causing an accident. So, props to Bubba Winningham. He did not make the same mistake I did. But looking at the gap back to that group, led by Vicente Guerrero, it's kind of held stable at right about 33.5 seconds. And you may be saying, oh, well, why are we worried about a 33.5 second gap? That gap's going to matter when you consider the fact this group has to get on pit road, in their box, off pit road, and blended back on the racetrack, all in that 33-second gap. We'll expect those pit stops here in 4 or 5 laps from this lead group, and that's when you'll see the lap times start to turn up as well for that second group. Kind of just biding their time for right now, just running their own pace. It's kind of, managing the gap. It's kind of stable. They've picked up, a couple tenths here, a couple tenths there. Not a lot of huge gains. You'll see them kick that into overdrive when that lead group decides to hit pit road. It's all a part of the mind games, the strategy games that get played on super speedways when a race pans out like this one has. Another tenth gained on that lap for that second group. First group mostly single file around the yellow line, led by Tom Dixon in the 411. Great run for him here on a Sunday night. Good to see him out here on the racetrack. Good run for Mark Sergio there in 4th position. Good run for a lot of guys up front here. Major props to some of these guys around the front of the field. They've run an excellent race to this point. Every strategy call's been right on the money for this first group. Off of turn number 4 here once again. Lap 44 will go on the board when we flash by that start-finish line one more time. And again, pit stops. If you're just joining us, it's just getting good. This race is in deep pit strategy mode. First group going to have to pit here in the next 3 laps or so. And it leaves them with 2 pit stops still to make. The second group, pitted on lap 36, will have to pit again around lap 51. Dixon continues to lead. So here are your pit numbers, at least off my very quick, probably inaccurate math. It's accurate math, but I don't know what these guys exactly are going to do. So say this lead pack pits on lap 47. They would have to pit again on around lap 62. And their final stop would be on lap 77. The second group, led by Vicente Guerrero, pit on lap 36. They will have to pit on lap 51 and lap 67. Or excuse me, 66. So a very, very interesting call. Basically to just shortcut the first pit stop of the 3 and then run the last 3 runs of the race all the way to the end. You often see that for a team that maybe just wants to, call a little bit of an audible, get off cycle, try to do something different, especially when it's a group of teammates. You'll see them often pit either early or late compared to the rest of the field. Get hooked up, run some good lap times, make up some time, and then when the end of the race comes around, it turns out it's either gone very right or very wrong. One truck on pit road that time by. It's Dean Viney. He goes a lap down. Field is getting ready to put Robert Jordan a lap down here in probably the next 3 laps or so. He is just up in front of them. Right here with Robert Morrison, who will go 2 laps down when they get to him. Dean Wilkinson is already 2 laps down. Getting ready to go 3 laps down. Les Levy, David Overstreet still also 1 lap down. As Bubba Winningham takes his turn at the front of the field. Leading off turn number 4, lap 46 on the board. This is the first lap you could expect to see the first group. Bubba Winningham pits, so does Les Levy, but that is it. Tom Dixon bypasses pit road and brings a lot of trucks with him in line. Lap 47 on the board, 34 laps to go from Talladega. As Tom Dixon, Adam Kilday, Mark Sergio, still your top 3. They are in line in draft. I will tell you that the second group, which is only 4 trucks, obviously Robert Jordan pit with them on lap 36, could not maintain the draft, so he's right up here in front of the leaders. They have picked up another second or so. They're about 32 seconds behind the leaders. Dixon's actually going to stay in line. This may be smart because I think they may be coming to pit road. Off turn number 4, here they come. Dixon, Kilday, Sergio, Stevens, Overstreet, Guerra, Burkhart, Osborne. Oh, locking the tires. Overstreet is going to go around. More trouble on pit road. John Guerra slides around. He gets it going in the right direction. He's got to get on the throttle. Overstreet's off in the grass. He's going to have to hit pit road as well. Les Levy's on pit road. And here is exactly what the doctor ordered for that second group. Once again, here it is. 4 trucks. They're off turn number 4 right now. It's Vicente Guerrero, Cody Nagels, Michael Triscaro, and DJ Thomas. They flash by the pit road. Let's see what they can do. Looks like they're going to easily bypass the leaders. And they will. New leaders at Talladega, Vicente Guerrero, Cody Nagels, Michael Triscaro, and DJ Thomas. Now they will have to pit probably in the next 3 laps. That's just how close this strategy is. The goal for them right this second is to put as much time on that second group as possible when they pit. This is what we're going to be seeing the rest of the race. These 4 trucks right here, as long as no execution issues, no penalties, no sliding through the box, no wrecks, their entire goal with this strategy is to put as much time on that second group as possible, so when the second group, well now the second group was the lead group, comes to pit road, that them taking very minimal fuel will not lead to them blending out in front of this group right here. They've already put 6 seconds on the group behind them. That gap continues to rise. About 2 more laps until we see these 4 on pit road. We'll take a look at the second group just briefly. It's led by Tom Dixon and Adam Kilday, but then look at the separation back to Dusty Burkhart, Mark Sergio, and Sean Stevens. They're not really together, not really incorporated. And then Larry Dickerson, Len McNeesel for the back. Then you have the trucks that had some issues on pit road. Bubba Winningham, John Guerra, Robert Jordan is on pit road now with Robert Morrison. Dana Osborne's off the pace as well. He's actually about to get put a lap down. Guerrero leads this group of 4 off of turn number 4. And you're looking at the race leaders. These are your race leaders right here. These 4 trucks, as they put Dana Osborne 1 lap down, leaves us 13 lead lap trucks as they run right now. Robert Jordan goes 2 laps down as he was on pit road. 6.8 seconds back to that second group. What now is the second group. And we're about to pass lap 50. We're going to be inside 30 laps to go from Talladega, as this has developed into a fuel strategy race here at the front of the field. And it is it's a very lopsided fuel strategy race at that. It's 4 trucks versus the rest of the field. Here tonight, see who can get it done at Talladega. Into the tri-oval once again. And down to the start-finish line. 30 laps to go. NSRA Sunday Select race number 7 at Talladega. Inside of 30 laps to go. The gap closing in a little. Now it's staying stable at about 6.8 seconds. It's actually going to increase once again to about 6.9 seconds. As this group really tries to make, hey, this would be the target pit lap. If this group's going to continue that 15-lap pattern I talked about a few laps earlier. Into turn number 3. Let's see if they hit pit road. It's a 7-second gap as they hit turn 3. Off turn number 4. Excuse me, and here they come. Nagel's awfully hot. Can he get it locked down? I think he did. It was awfully close. Keep an eye on the 6. Tom Dixon flashes by. Now it's gonna be interesting where they blend. This group will not have to pit again until lap 62. The Limitless group will have to pit again on lap 66. Waiting for him to come off pit road. Still not off pit road. Now they are. And they are in line already. Great coordination from this group of 4, and that's exactly what they need. We're going to have to see how much the gap is when they get off of turn number 2 and up to full speed. That hands the lead back over to Tom Dixon in the 411, and this first group once again assumes the lead of the race. Up to full song is that second group, what was the lead group for a few short laps. As we look back at Tom Dixon, these guys are good until lap 62. They'll have to pit on 62 and 77. Now they could do this more than one way. They could either pit on 62 and 77 or pit on 62 and then do the same thing we saw Limitless do earlier, pit on lap 66 and hope it works. I think they're just going to run it out, though. I think their bet is made. You can't really change your strategy this late in the going of a race like this. You kind of just have to hope that what you've done to this point, what you've been left to do, will work out. This group's run a solid strategy race. It's going to come down to that last pit stop with 4 to go. It'll come down to how much time that second group has gained over the last 2 cycles. They are 28 seconds back as they run. That's already 4 seconds better than they were on the last cycle. Dixon off into turn number 3. If you're just joining me, welcome. NSRA Sunday Select Series ChevyLand 212, race 7 of the regular season. Coming to you from Talladega Superspeedway tonight. We are just short of 25 laps to go, and we are deep into a fuel strategy race. We're about 8 laps short of this group that you see on your screen coming to pit road once again. And about 12 laps short of our second group coming to pit road for what will be their last pit stop. That group will pit on 66. They'll be good to go for the rest of the race. It's going to depend on this first group and how much time they can make up that they've lost by taking a lot less fuel on that last pit stop. Tom Dixon, Adam Kilday, Dusty Burkhart, Mark Sergio, Sean Stevens, Larry Dickerson, Len McNeese are your top 7. They are pictured on your screen. Dana Osborne is a lap down. He is in this group as well to make up an 8-truck lead draft. Your second draft is right here. And it is all 4 teammates: Cody Nagels, Vicente Guerrero, Michael Triscaro, and DJ Thomas. John Guerra had some troubles on pit road. He is back here by himself, about 7 seconds behind them. Bubba Winningham is in this group of lap trucks with Les Levy, Robert Jordan, Robert Morrison, Dean Viney, and David Overstreet. Overstreet, Morrison 2 laps down. Wilkinson is 3 laps down. That's Dean Wilkinson, the 55. Dean Viney, Robert Jordan, and Les Levy are all 1 lap down, as well as Dana Osborne. 24 laps to go here from Talladega. We're getting ever closer to that final pit stop for the second group and our next pit stop for this first group. As lap 57's on the board, we expect them on pit road on lap 62. We can narrow down the numbers now. So with 19 laps to go, this group right here will pit. With 15 laps to go, the second group will pit. Then this first group will have to pit inside of 5 laps to go, and that's going to be what we like to call the money stop. Now, the money stop for the second group is the only stop they have left, and that's going to be on lap 66. That's the rundown of how this race is going to pan out, barring any, knock on wood, any setbacks. Both these packs want to see this go to a strategy race. Both these packs believe their strategy is going to work. You have to. You have to convince yourself and the people you are running with that your strategy is the right one and that it's going to work. The second you start to doubt it, you lose time, you make a quick decision, and then all of a sudden, you split the group up, you miss pit road, you have a penalty from a late decision, something of that nature, and all of a sudden your race is out the window. So you have to convince both yourself and those around you that this strategy is going to work. They're not looking at gaps right now as this group. They are in line. They're focused ahead, focusing on that last pit stop. Well, really these last 2 pit stops. The group that's looking at lap times, the group that's looking at the gap, is the second group, which their only goal is to make up time. This group, all their goal is to just keep a good pace and know that that last pit stop, they're only going to be taking a splash of fuel and driving away. They have to hope that's enough. 22 laps to go from Talladega. Who's going to get it done and make a serious step towards the playoffs here in Sunday Select? It's the halfway point of the regular season. The time is running out on these drivers to make their way into the postseason. While we're at it here, just before this group comes to pit road, as lap 60 goes on the board, we can expect them in 2 laps. We have a couple laps. Let's give you an idea of your standings. Coming into tonight's race, Cody Nagels was the points leader coming into tonight by a large margin over the cut line. Vicente Guerrero, his teammate, second in points. David Overstreet, third in points. Bubba Winningham, fourth. Alex Giffen, not on the racetrack tonight. He is 66 points above the cut line. Michael Triscaro plus 58. Dusty Burkhart plus 57. Robert Jordan plus 48. DJ Thomas plus 35. John Guerra plus 31. Sean Stevens plus 29. Len McNeese, 23 above the line. Myself, 20 points above the line. Obviously, my point's going to take a little bit of a hit tonight. Adam Kilday running P2 right now. He's in the spot to have the best day of anybody. Only 16 points above the cut line. This could be a huge boost if their strategy works out. Same for Dusty Burkhart, Sean Stevens. We could really build a nice gap over that cut line. Larry Dickerson's 10 points above. Dana Osborne is 6 above. Les Levy, 6 below. Mark Mann, 8 below. Robert Morrison, 21 below. He could stand to gain some points tonight. Richard Sanchez is 24 below the cut line. $20 laps to go from Talladega. We can expect everyone next time by, at least out of this first group, to hit the pit lane, make what is their second to last pit stop. I can tell you that the gap back to that second group has stabled out right around 27 seconds. Not a lot of gain going on from back there, but then again, they might kind of just be managing their pace. As they get ready to kick it into high gear like we saw them do over the last 4 laps of the run last time by, now's going to be the time if they want to do so. Gap's starting to widen a little. It's getting close to 27.5 seconds now on the back straightaway as this group pushes the pace just a little bit. 19 laps to go. Sun is back out bright over the turns 3 and 4 area of the racetrack. Gap still going up, 27.5 back to that second group. Off turn number 4, do we see them hit pit road? Dixon dives to pit road. Oh, they're going to stay out. And here's where things get a little bit interesting as Adam Kilday bypasses pit road. With 18 laps to go, you could argue, and this is a very bold strategy if they do decide to try to pull this off. There's two things that could be happening here. Number one, they're going to just try to go a couple extra laps and then save fuel on that last run because they're going to have a gap. Number two, they could be trying to save while they're on the racetrack, trying to make it to that 15 laps to go number. Let's see if they pit this time by 18 laps to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. They dive off the racetrack and onto pit road they come. Kilday, Burkhart, Stevens, Osborne, Sergio, Dickerson, and Len McNeese. Some contact trouble. Dusty Burkhart's around and in the inside wall on pit road. Another pit stop error for this group. Here's the second group led by Cody Nagels. They're going to flash off turn number 4 here as the first group starts to get into their pit stalls. Head into the tri-oval. This group's going to put 17 laps to go on the board when they flash by the start-finish line. And our race leaders, who are not even off pit road yet. No contest. New leader, Cody Nagels at Talladega. So now, in about 2 laps, this group will pit. Here now is the question. The group led by Sean Stevens off pit road. Do they try to stretch a tank 17 laps? It's theoretically not impossible, but you would have to hyper save. And you know, once this group pits, that they are going to be full go. They know they're going to be all good. They don't have to save. As long as they get on and off pit road without an issue, they're going to be able to put the pedal to the firewall and go all the way to the end. That first group, it would be a serious gamble to try to make it 17 laps, especially as they're already losing a lot of time. It's 12 seconds back to Sean Stevens from our race leader, Cody Nagels. 16 laps to go from Talladega Superspeedway. Off of turn number 2, Nagels, Guerrero, Triscaro, Thomas continuing to put blinding lap times on the board. The gap up to 12.5 seconds. The timing may not be good enough for that group to save. It really just may not be. If they save, they're going to let this second group, now is the first group back into this race. And that's the last thing they want to do. Off turn 4, 12.5 seconds to gap between our race leader, Cody Nagels, and Sean Stevens. They try to gear up, go one more lap. We expect them on pit road next time by. Gap down to 12.3. This group needs to get hooked up. They're not really connected. Now they are. The gap now down inside 12.2 seconds. 12.1. That second group starting to pick up time as they are hooked up. And I'm going to tell you what. I don't think this group is saving. If they are, they certainly aren't showing it. They are still on full go. Back to our race leaders. Led by Cody Nagels. Their money stop coming up. Off turn number 4, we expect them to pit right here. And they do. Limitless coming to pit road for what is the money stop. Can they get it woed down? DJ Thomas had some issues. That's going to slow them up if he can't get it going on exit here. Triscaro is going to have to pedal back, I believe, as his teammate starts to get into his pit box. There go the leaders flashing by. That's Sean Stevens and his group, which has grown smaller. It's only 6 trucks. Now the question begins. Are they going to try to save? Off the jack and away. DJ Thomas, unfortunately, is going to lose this front group, and I don't think they have time to wait. $14 laps to go at Talladega. They do not have time to wait on their teammate DJ Thomas, although it sounds like they're doing just that. They are. They are going to wait. Limitless thinks they've got enough time to give to try to get their teammate back into this race. Sean Stevens, meanwhile, he leads for the time being. 13 laps to go from Talladega. If this group has to pit, we expect them with 3 laps to go. Does not appear that they're saving any gas. Dusty Burkhart back on pit road, an unscheduled stop. That's going to put That's going to put him in a big hole. That's a really unfortunate end to what was a really great night running for Dusty Burkhart as he got too hot on pit entry, spun the truck out, lost a handle. 27 seconds to that group, did not lose anything, but now here's the question. If this group up front doesn't have to pit, they're going to win the race. That would require them to save 2 entire laps of fuel, which actually it would require 3 extra laps of fuel. And it's 20% of your fuel tank. It's pretty tough, especially in a group in a single file line when you're not in a pack, to save that much. Man. We'll see. It's going to be awfully interesting. There is Dusty Burkhart in the 69. I'll tell you what I think this group is saving. At least the guys near the end of the line, Larry Dickerson, Mark Sergio. These front 3 are not. They're full go. It sure looks like they're full go to me. Adam Kilday all over the back of the 27 of Sean Stevens. I don't think they're saving any at all. Because that second group's not gaining anything, which tells me the pace of this front group is still very high. 11 laps to go from Talladega. First group's not gaining anything. In fact, they're losing a lot of time. Some kind of unknown issue has happened. Oh, they are all kinds of separated, trying to get back in line. They need to do so quickly. They do. Unsure what happened there. Some kind of cycle where they get Cody Nagel second in line. Their line tends to move a lot when he's the guy second in line. Sean Stevens continuing to lead the race. Adam Kilday in tow. Dana Osborne is a lap down. Sean Stevens, it's going to be awfully hard for him to save any fuel leading the race. He's burning a lot more than the guys in tow are leading the race. Pretty impossible for him to go the whole way. Len McNeese is a ways off of Dana Osborne. Larry Dickerson a ways off of him. Mark Sergio a ways off of them. Maybe they are saving to try to win the race. If this strategy pans out, it's certainly one of the bolder ones that I've ever seen. To try to stretch a fuel tank an extra 3 laps past what you can normally get out of it. It is crunch time. Inside of 10 laps to go. Somebody's going to get a victory and make a huge stride in their season. Here in the ChevyLand 212. Less than 20 miles to go from Talladega. You're tuned in at the right time if you're just joining us. This is a great one. This is a race that'll remind you of the old days. Pit strategy is on the radar for these teams tonight. This group, by the way, is lined up and rolling here at the exit of turn number 4. But the problem for them is they have to rely on this front group making a pit stop. If they don't, that second group's not going to have a say in this finish. We'll expect to see this first group here in the next 6 laps. If they do have to pit, it won't be on the last lap. They'll have to pit before that and hope that the 27-second gap that they have gained is going to be enough. Sean Stevens leading with 8 laps to go. Great to see Mark Vondell out there in chat. Good to see you, Mark. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Glad to see you out here NSRA Sunday Select ChevyLand 212 getting down to it. And I'm going to tell you what, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's just cooling off the truck. To me, it looked like Adam Kilday was saving gas. They might be trying to run this out. They might be attempting the bold strategy call of gambling, hoping that that fuel tank just gets them a few extra laps. The times have certainly fallen off for this front group. They are losing time to the second group in a hurry. Yeah, they're saving. 100% these guys are saving. Off turn number 2, 7 laps to go. Sean Stevens, for now, continues to lead. Don't think there's going to be enough time for that second group to reach these guys. They'd have to gain an extraordinary amount of time per lap, but with Adam Kilday laying as far off as Sean Stevens as he is, the lap time's really going to start to suffer for this front group. Well, now they start to lose a little bit of time again as the line is disconnected. This is not what you want to see if you're the front group. Or excuse me, if you're the second group. You need to get connected ASAP. They are too disconnected here to make it the rest of the way. Time's starting to get picked back up again inside 25.5 seconds, but it will not matter if this group does not have to make a pit stop. They've cycled Dana Osborne out of line. Len McNeese now third in line and third on the racetrack. They are seriously slowing the pace down. They are at a hyper save here in turns 3 and 4. Second group starting to reel them in. Granted, again, it's not. They're going to have to gain an extraordinary amount of time per lap. They're going to have to gain, probably about 4 seconds a lap if they even want to get close. Five laps to go. From Talladega, we've got a group in full save mode. Trying to stretch that fuel tank all the way to the end. And now here is the issue. Now see, before, when we were talking about these strategies, we said they would have to pit inside 5 laps to go, and they just want to make it a quick stop. Here's the problem for this first group. If they realize late in this race they can't make it, there is no plan B. There's no blending with the second group. There's no, well, maybe we still get out and catch draft. This is it. It's all or nothing. That group that's 23 seconds back is too close to them for them to still maintain the lead even if they do pit. They're just too close. 4 laps to go. We expect them next time by, not this time, but next time. And they have really killed the pace. They're backing it up even more. Osborne's just driving right on by like they're standing still. Now Stevens is going to stay dead even. No pun intended. Now Osborne drops in front. It's going to allow Stevens to save some gas. Burkhart now starts to drive around him. The interesting thing, well, now that group just came to pit road, so scratch what I said. 3 laps to go from Talladega. Sean Stevens is your race leader, and he's hoping that fuel tank makes it about 7 more miles. Now Burkhart's down in front of him. Second group 20 seconds back. Not going to be an issue. They have to gain an extraordinary amount of lap time. They're not going to do so. It's going to be whether or not this group has enough to make it all the way to the checkered flag here in 2.5 laps. Second group coming in a hurry, but it's not. It's too little too late on lap times. They have to rely on this group making a pit stop or running out of gas. This would be the pit lap. Stevens can't make it. He pits. That hands the lead to Adam Kilday. Osborne pits as well. 2 laps to go. Stevens bows out. If we get one more lap in, the race is official. The second group is closing in a hurry. They're not going to get to them. But at this point, if Kilday, McNeese, Dickerson, Sergio can't make it, it would hand the win to that second group. Down the backstretch, the Alabama Gang Superstretch, it seems eternal for Adam Kilday, Len McNeese, Larry Dickerson, Mark Sergio. The longest backstretch they've ever run. It actually might be the next one. Into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, this pace is creeping. Here we go, off turn number 4. Kilday has to bow out. He's coming to pit road. Now McNeese has the race lead. White flag from Talladega Superspeedway, and it flies for Len McNeese. They got to make it all the way to the checkers. They got a long way to go, 2.66 miles. 13 seconds back to the lead group. Sergio looks to the outside of Dickerson. That's for second. McNeese down the Alabama Gang Superstretch for the final time. Sergio to his outside for the race lead. 12 seconds back to the second group. Can they make it all the way home? Sergio to the outside of Burkhart now. There's trouble in turn 3. Sergio's into the wall. McNeese is in it. Now Dickerson, does he get involved? Where's the second group? They're 10 seconds back. Into the trial for the final time. Sergio survives, so does Dickerson. Checkered flag. Larry Dickerson steals a win at Talladega. This is the battle for third. Cody Nagels will get it over Trisquero, Guerrero, and Thomas. Unreal. A last lap wreck in turn number 3 ends Len McNeese his hope for wins. Dickerson and Sergio have just enough, and they make it home. Unreal. I would say we'll give him a chance to celebrate, but it appears he's expired the fuel tank. On the 25, he'll roll to a stop. What an effort for him. And his first victory of the season here in the Sunday Select Series in the ChevyLand 212. We're going to try to get a hold of your top 3 for interviews here. And then we'll give you your finishing results, and we'll wrap up tonight from Talladega. An incredible, exhilarating field strategy race. Your results will scroll across the top of your screen. We'll give them to you in a moment. We're going to try to grab your top 3. And we will start with the man who finished third tonight. Driver of the 6, a multiple-time winner this season, Mr. Cody Nagels. And we'll go grab him really quickly. And we'll get a word what he thinks about tonight's race. Hey, Cody, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you come home third. Sure looked like that strategy was going to pan out for you guys. You guys gained a ton of time over those last few pit cycles, and you guys were lined up, but it doesn't work out. A couple of guys stretched the fuel tank to get it done. You come home third anyway. Just kind of take us through how you're feeling about that effort tonight.
Man, where do I start? I'm honestly good on Larry, man. First off, congrats on his first NSRA win. That's awesome. I am genuinely surprised that the leaders insisted on running their tanks dry, because I knew if they did, that maybe some of the guys riding in the very back of the pack could make it. If the guys leading would have just pitted, if they wouldn't have ran the tank out, Lynn and Larry and that group would not have been able to make it. The only way they could have made it was the leaders deciding to run their fuel out. When they did, it played right into Larry's hands, and I was not expecting the leaders to want to run that tank out, so kind of sucks. We went the predictable route, and they didn't do the predictable thing, so we kind of got burnt in the process, but we did get good finishes.
Well, yeah, and that's where we'll go next. You guys finished 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 15th tonight for Limitless. It's another really great run for you guys. Even if you don't get the victory, it's another incredible points night. Just, kind of take me through the growth as a team and the growth as a group, the chemistry, and what goes into that, and how you guys are growing week to week.
I guess it starts with guys like you and DJ, stepping outside of the league racing and doing more competitive racing, and then taking what we learned in the competitive scene, and then coming back to NSRA and trying. We're like, I guess we're just trying to relay the information to the rest of our teammates, guys like Robert Morrison, Robert Jordan, guys like that, even Michael Triscaro. Like, it's just you use the information that you learn in the competitive races, and then you come here. But at the same time, I feel like this is almost being treated as like training, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right word, but you hone your craft here. It's just they go hand in hand, man. The more you run, it's like seat time. The more you run, the better you get. And I heard Mike talking about how NSRA has just really improved him as a racer, and he's been able to take that to the money racing scene, which is honestly is really cool to see, man. And I was planning on just pushing him to the win, but again, I was afraid that one of the guys in the back of that pack might be able to make it, and unfortunately he did. But hey, man, Larry got his first win, so that's pretty cool.
It is a really cool moment for sure, but we got you for a second. You come home third tonight. It's another great run in what is becoming a dominant season for you as the points leader. You're going to extend that points lead tonight. So while we have you for a minute, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Obviously, I want to thank you, everything you do, and Austin as well for calling the races this season. And thank everyone at Limitless Esports for putting together a very, very strong season. And I think we played a very smart strategy tonight. And again, I think if we play that strategy 10 times, we probably come home with the victory, 9 of them. But good on Larry for being able to stretch that. And I think if we'd have been able to push the pace maybe just a little bit more, maybe we had a chance. But yeah, that's just it's a very good effort, not only by us, but I got to put the spotlight on Larry, man. That was a well-ran race to be able to make that on 4 stops.
Absolutely it was. Well, you come home third tonight. It's a great effort out of you and your team. We'll see you next week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Cody Nagel's your third place finisher here tonight. With that, we're going to go grab your second place finisher, Mark Sergio, here to get him up for a quick word about his run tonight, how he made it on this incredible strategy here at the end of this race. Hey, Mark, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Mark, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy of me, buddy? All right, we'll try one more time. Hey, Mark, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy? All right, no copy for now. We'll get him here in a second. We'll see if we can come back to him. But that's going to lead us to your race winner tonight, Larry Dickerson in the 25. We're going to get him up here, see what he's got to say about what an incredible race he ran here tonight. Hey, Larry, it's Dawson up in the booth. You got a copy?
Got you loud and clear.
Wow. Well, hey, I can't say I expected to see you guys make it to the end. Kind of, take me through it. How did you guys stretch an extra 3 laps out of that tank? What was the thought process? And, when did you realize that you were going to get the job done?
My game plan coming in this was just ride in the back and try to gain much points I could since I'm near that cutoff bubble. So I was just riding around the back in case the cars can't get the way, stay out of trouble. At least if we can get to the end, I at least have a chance without the torn up truck. But I did not expect it to go green the whole time. That kind of caught me off guard. So I just stuck with my strategy, and I know if you're at the front, you're using more gas than everybody else. So I was intentionally staying behind everybody the whole time. That way I didn't have to use as much gas. And I was actually probably, I don't know, 0.2 gallons short there when we took the white flag. So I was literally, since I got my ignition button set up on my steering wheel, I was literally, as soon as we took the white flag, intentionally turning my truck off and on as much as I could and keep the draft to at least secure a podium. But that was just craziness there at the end. I got cleared that. I almost got taken out in that. I hate it end like that because of net code, but I'll take it anyway and get in. I didn't know I was going to have it or not because when I came through the trial, we'll come to the checker halfway through the trial, I ran out of gas. So like, well, great, there goes the win. Maybe whoever's in second right behind me, half a second, will steal it from me.
But nonetheless, you come across the line in the first position. It's your first NSRA win. I mean, how does this feel? It's got to be a huge moment for you. We've seen you get close a couple times this season. You finally put one together tonight and get it done. How you feeling?
It feels awesome. I just wanted mainly when I came in this league to earn everybody's respect and show them that they can trust me, race with me every week. And I've had absolute blast doing this. I can't thank David enough for letting me come on to this league and be part of this. And it's a big deal for me to get a league win because I don't get the chance to win that much anymore in league races. So whenever I can snag one up, it's big for me. And yeah, I'm really glad to go and get this out of the way. And I'm kind of ready to start the playoffs now, as long as I make it.
Well, absolutely. It's a great step in the right direction. We've got you here for a second. Anybody you want to thank or shout out after that first career victory?
Oh, yeah. First off, I want to give a shout out to my wife for putting up with me doing all these league races and sometimes having to deal with me being in a ill mood afterwards if I have a bad race. But shout out to her for dealing with me doing this. Shout out to all my buddies on the team. I know it says I'm Team All-Star, but I'm representing the guys I run with other leagues, so my teammates in other leagues. So I want to give a shout out to Dylan Bryant, Jeremiah Birch, Mike Adamson. I'm forgetting. I'm so happy I forgot some people's names. Albert Anderson and Jack Dixon, my teammates in other leagues from Team All-Star. Shout out to David again for putting on an awesome league. Couldn't be more happy to be proud to be part of this league. Shout out to everybody who runs these races. This was an awesome race, clean race. That's all you can ask for, and it was fun. Shout out to you in the broadcast booth. I watch every broadcast afterwards, and you do an amazing job. So shout out to you too, and shout out to my sponsors, LA Construction, JD PD Designs from Awesome Paint Jobs, and the biggest one is with the sponsor you see on the truck, Angelman Center Foundation. It's a form of autism that affects everybody differently. It has it. So I raise awareness by doing this for that autism and really all forms of autism. So if anybody can donate to an organization to help out, you'll be on an awesome call with some awesome people. And that'd just be wonderful. And anyway, to help spread the word.
What a great cause that is. Congratulations, Larry, on that big victory. Your first in NSRA. We'll see you next week. Congrats. Go enjoy it.
All right, awesome. See y'all next week.
Your winner, Larry Dickerson, in the 25. You hear the emotion behind that one. It's a long time coming for the driver of the 25. We're going to try to get your second-place finisher one more time, Mark Sergio. We're going to see if we can get a word in with him. If not, we'll get you your race results and wrap it up here from Talladega Superspeedway. Hey, Mark, it's Dawson in the booth. You got a copy? All right, no copy there from Mark Sergio, so unfortunately we're going to have to move on and wrap up here from tonight's events. What a night it was here at Talladega Superspeedway. We'll get you your full race results from Talladega. Larry Dickerson, his first ever NSRA win here in the ChevyLand 212 at Talladega. Mark Sergio makes the field last as well. He rolls second tonight. Cody Nagels rolls from third. You heard from him. That strategy was almost the one that got him the race win. Nonetheless, they are going to come home with very good finishes. Michael Trescaro, his teammate, finishes fourth. Vicente Guerrero rounds out the top five. DJ Thomas finishes sixth, with Lem McNeese in seventh, Sean Stevens in eighth, Tom Dixon in ninth, and Adam Kilday rounding out the top 10. Dusty Burkhart finishes 11th tonight, with Dana Osborne in 12th, John Guerra 13th, Les Levy 14th, and Robert Jordan, rounding out your top 15. 16th tonight, Bubba Winningham. 17th, Dean Viney. 18th, Robert Morrison. 19th, David Overstreet. And rounding out your field is Dean Wilkinson. That's going to do it here from Talladega Superspeedway. Glad everybody tuned in with me tonight. It was a great night of racing. No cautions tonight. How about that? I'll say it again. No cautions tonight in the ChevyLand 212. What a race it was. It all came down to field strategy And Larry Dickerson got the job done for his first career Sunday Select Series win. Join us back here on the Ghost Racing Network. Tuesday night is a new season of Ron Morris Racing, Tuesday Night Thunder. It's getting underway. I do believe we're going to be back in the trucks on Tuesday night. I'll go ahead and say we're going to have the call for you here on Ghost Racing Network. We'll make sure of that here the next couple of days, but myself and Austin Green will be back on the mic for you there for that Tuesday night action. Can't wait to see what unfolds in another great season of Tuesday Night Thunder. Then right back here on Thursday night for PGR Thursday Night Heat as they return to their normal scheduled programming. We're coming up on a marquee event later in the month. We'll tell you about that as the weeks roll along. That's going to be near the end of the month of October. It will be titled Fall Brawl. We're still waiting on an official date for that. We'll get that to you when we have it. I have had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had a lot of fun as well. It's been a great time. Until next time, though, my name is Dawson Wise. You've been watching the Ghost Racing Network. Good night, everyone.